back to Speed Freak Garage, home of Power Sports on YouTube. Today we'll be working on our 2013 Scion FRS here with our master fabricator Brandon. He's a great body man, so he's going to be working on the car today. Basically, I was driving down a backcountry road, as usual, and I hit a chicken.
A large bird.
Very large bird. Chicken or hawk doing about 85. So it hit here, spiderwebbed this, and the shockwave came back and shattered the bumper in the back. So Brandon is very good at drift stitching. So he's gonna do the work today, and then I will trade him lunch or dinner or something.
Basically a sweatshop.
Yeah, I'm fucking hungry.
Free child labor.
We're gonna go get lunch.
All right, so basically for this you're gonna need a drill bit of the correct size depending on the zip ties you use.
So in this case we're using mini zip ties, so we have a 1/8 drill bit about.
Yeah. Basically what you can do is you take your drill bit or your bit set and you can kind of compare up, and you want just a little bit wider than the actual zip tie itself. So you can see there, that should work. Always start small because you can't really go smaller once you drill a hole.
Yep.
So
measure twice, cut once.
That's right. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to drill on either side, well, on both sides of the crack itself in order to pull it together and prevent further cracking. Because as he had stated, it has started like right here and it's already spread like an inch and a half on each side.
Yeah,
so
I was in the middle of a business trip, so I drove another 1,000 miles and the crack got 2 or 3 or 4 inches wider, so yeah.
One thing you can use too is a tape measure, just in case you are really OCD and want your stitches
like me.
Yeah, want your stitches like perfect. Otherwise, you can just kind of wing it and just go for it.
So in this case, we talked about this the other night. We were going to have a stitch at one corner and the other corner, and then we're going to avoid where it's too close to the edge. We're going to have a stitch here, here, and here, I think. Is that what we...
I believe so,
So just at like the critical points where it looks like it could form another crack. And that should be enough to hold it together until next year when I can get a new bumper.
Yeah. And also he wanted to cross them, which we'll go over once we start actually putting the zip ties in. But for now, I'm going to go ahead and start drilling the holes in the bumper, and then we'll go from there. So you want to make sure that you're not too far away, but you're also not too close.
And watch out for the radiator down there.
Yeah. Okay.
You can see how easily the bumper is separating, so you can imagine with 100 miles an hour of wind force, it's not going to hold together.
I mean, you can push on it.
70 miles an hour, because that's the speed limit.
Yeah. Had to edit that out. All right, now I believe you wanted one right there, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks like it's pretty weak.
Okay. What's that one right there?
Have you done this before?
Nope, never. No, I haven't. I've stitched a few things together. So we'll put one right here. None of the cracks have actually been caused from drifting now.
I wish I could say this was caused by drifting. It'd be a way better story than a chicken.
Alright, so basically now we have our holes drilled that we're going to put our zip ties in. I've drilled them in sets of 2 on each side because we're actually going to come from one hole across and another hole across. that kind of is for aesthetics. That is going to help pull this crack together, but you could also just stitch it straight across if you'd like. Most people go overkill and they'll like put more than just the 2 stitches across. It's really not necessary, so don't need it. Run over here, grab our stack of zip ties.
So I mentioned to Brandon earlier that these are pretty cheap zip ties, unfortunately. So
Yeah.
you want to flex each one to make sure it doesn't snap.
Right.
I mean, even the good brand zip ties, you have to do.
Yeah,
that
sometimes they're just junk. Zip ties are junk. So now we're going to see if it'll actually fit in the hole. Come on. There we go. Yeah, so that's like perfect size. You don't have excessive amount of hole.
It won't focus. Hold on. Okay.
So yeah, you don't have an excessive amount. You want it kind of tight. So now what we'll
I
do,
always want it tight.
we're gonna come from the back side in order to keep this big bulky, the retainer on the back side so you don't see it.
Yeah.
So then all you see is just a flat zip tie portion.
So if you have an Asian friend, this is a good chance to bring them over because
you need.
I can't get my hands up there. Brandon's just boss like that.
That's right. You gotta find it. This can be a tricky process.
This is like freshman year stuff, man. Find the hole.
Is this plugged in?
Yes.
Freshman year stuff. I'm gonna have to go from this side, maybe.
I mean, if we can't do it from the backside, that's fine, because, I mean, it's not forever bumper, so.
I will not give up. Okay. I'm going to find a way to put light back up here. Sometimes this is probably the trickiest part of all.
If we need to, we can unbolt this holder up here. I think you could probably get your hand underneath.
Yeah,
want.
we might try that too. Yeah, this is the trickiest part, like I said, by far. Is actually threading the zip ties through.
I mean, obviously, if you can take the bumper off the car to fix it, that's a great idea, but this bumper's a pain to do that.
I just saw it. Come on.
I don't know what happens if it comes out the other holes.
Sometimes also, if you take your zip tie, you can actually form them a little bit, so you
Form
can
a
actually
hook.
bend it, yeah,
Yeah, I like to do that. when
and
I
hook
fix some
into
stuff.
it. So it's one of those things where you just gotta try and then try some more. Very close. Come on now. I just saw it. Really? Okay.
You want to try and bolt
So
in that
yeah,
top plate?
actually what we're going to do is we're going to try to unbolt this top plate in order to gain further access to the backside.
Okay. I can put that on camera though, because I gotta hold tools, not cameras.
So we're back now. We've actually taken this top portion off that actually holds the bumper kind of down. And it's extremely dirty under here.
Hey.
So now we can actually kind of pull this up and then try to feed our zip tie from the back on up.
So important thing to note is if your crack's closer to your headlight, there's a hook here that's embedded in the headlight, and so you're pretty much screwed if you got to get any room here, because it ain't gonna go nowhere unless the whole bumper comes off. But up front here, we got much more room to work.
Okay, so now I'm just working on hooking the zip tie. There we go.
There you go.
Now I can pull the zip tie through, and as I had stated, we're actually going to go across. So we'll put it back down here. And then, I might have to come from the other side to do this. Try not to block the camera.
No, don't worry about the camera.
Okay. So I've almost got it through. And then you hear that familiar sound that everyone's used the zip ties heard.
If you haven't used a zip tie before, you shouldn't be doing this.
Yeah. And you want to kind of pull it tight. And we can always go through and pull them tighter, which we will. And we'll grab another zip tie.
I'm guessing not so tight that you collapse the actual shape of the bumper.
Yeah, you want to keep it. There's definitely a point where, well, these will probably break before it ever gets to that point. But, yeah, you don't want to go too wild. There we go.
Then you can also, if you want, trim off the excess zip tie when you're done. But in this case, we're probably not going to, just because it would be pretty hard to get some clippers back there.
Yeah, James likes it a little long, so.
Wait, what?
Okay, so now we got that one kind of set up, and as you see, like I said, we went across.
Awesome. So that'll keep the crack from propagating.
Mm-hmm. And then we'll move on to the next one.
Okay, so we're gonna come back when we go to do the last cross, because it's, you know, all the same, I guess, so.
Yeah, it's pretty straightforward.
We will come back in maybe 10-15 minutes.
Yep. See you then.
Okay, so we're back with only one left to do.
One left. Really didn't take that long. On all
it took about as long as it did to get both front wheels off.
on all of these, we went through and used a pair of needle nose pliers to actually kind of tighten them up, snug them up. I'll show you how we do it on this one because we do have more room, and I can kind of show you with the camera a little bit better. So now we will go fishing. Might have to use the light on this one because it's kind of far back. Oh, there we go.
So while Brandon's working, you guys can see why we're not using the GoPro on the head technique for this, because there really, I mean, there isn't any room for me to stick my head down there alongside him.
Had to have a giraffe neck. Okay. A lot of this is done by feel too. And having smaller hands definitely helps you out in this aspect. Okay. Grab the next
really
one.
see the spider webs from this angle.
Yeah,
Ouch.
it's bad. I was looking at it.
You're supposed to say, it's alright, James, it's fine. You're fine. Don't cry.
at you.
Dude, when I saw it when I stopped for gas, like, you know, a couple hundred miles later, I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna have a heart attack.
Cries.
Yeah, it was not good.
On to bigger, better things though now, right?
Yeah. Yeah, this will be a daily, and then we'll have a nice racing rally car someday.
One of these days, huh? I mean, look at my daily. 3 days after I got painted, I hit a coon.
Oh.
Okay, I'll grab our handy dandy needle nose. And we can kind of get a hold of the zip tie there.
So you can see from this angle, he's getting it tight, but not so tight that it collapses the bumper.
Right. So now I've got them kind of all tightened and kind of where they need to be. So at this point, you could either A, cut the excess off because you do have the little tabs hanging, but it's all hidden underneath the bumper, so I don't think we're going to mess with it. It's too much to mess with.
Yeah, because last thing we want is to cut something that...
yeah. Or B, just leave it. So
that actually doesn't look too bad. I think we were originally going to go with red, and then, you know, a lot of people know, or I kind of forgot that red fades really fast in the sun. And the hood's black, so I think it'll look good. So we're going to reattach our little top bar here, and then we'll come back and show you what it looks like when it's finished. And there you have it. We have our drift stitches done and finished, and I think this video is only about 15 minutes maybe. So Brandon, the master fabricator, he might even be painting this bumper, a new bumper, next year sometime. We're going to actually bring our body line down where it belongs and bring this body line up along the hood, so might get some help on that. And again, I mean, these actually look pretty good. You know, they're really evenly done. You can see that the crack's been pulled tight, so it ain't gonna spread. It will not spread anymore. And do you have any closing comments, Brandon?
No, other than this is his first battle scar. Well, actually, it's the second one because I fixed that one, so now we fixed that one.
That's right. Yeah, if you guys remember, we had a big giant dent in there and had to fix that. So
yeah.
See you guys next time.
Try not to hold me down, feeling like